Again, the key question to determine if it's legal or not is the ball coming out of the player's hands before a pivot foot, if established, leaves the floor. We'll talk about 3 moves. The first one's a drop step. The post player catches, pivots, dribbles, steps, and goes. Now, that's legal since I caught, created a pivot foot here, dribbled, have 2 feet on the floor and a narrow step, making this another pivot foot, we go up. So again, it's a catch, pivot, dribble, go. And slightly faster speed. Second move's a spin. Say I've got a defender moving up on this side of me, and I know there's some space toward the end line. I can turn off of this leg, put the ball down, and then go up. That's legal since I created a pivot foot once this foot came around, but I started the dribble before picking it up, and then went in. And in your game speed looks like this. And the third move is called a sigma pivot or a reverse pivot. And that basically means I'm going to turn and create space for a little 8 or 10 footer, usually makeable. Again, I'm going to create a pivot foot by stepping like that. As a righty, I like to have a right foot pivot since it kind of sets me right up for my shot. And from here, I'm in basically a triple threat position. And I can make the same moves as if I were out on the wing. I can fake, come through like that. Or I can go the other way. Again, it's a little trickier to go that other side since I've got to get the ball out before that foot comes off. But those are fine, and in faster speed, it's going to be... Now, a couple of illegal variations. Again, players who may not want to watch these. We could have a player do that third move, that sigma, open up, fake, slide the pivot, and go, just like we saw on the wing. We could have a player jump to the drop step move. So instead of pivoting into that dribble, it's a jump. This happens quite a lot. Again, it's a jump, pivot. Not legal since the player left the floor and then came back down before starting anything. That could also happen towards the middle. And on the spin, we could see a player pick up the pivot before starting the dribble. So none of those work. Referees should discuss how they want to cover post play before the game. One way to do this is to have the lead official focus on upper body contact and have either the trail or center official, depending on how many officials there are, keep an eye out for the illegal footwork. Ending a dribble. Here the key question is, where are the player's feet at the moment when the ball comes to rest? In either 1 or 2 hands. Possibly the best way to end a dribble, especially on the run, is with what I call a pseudo jump stop. That's where the ball comes to rest after the player has jumped and is in the air. Looks like this. So the ball came to rest in 2 hands while I was in the air. Just like catching a pass while in the air, I landed on 2 feet, and now I have several choices. I could pivot off of either foot, or I could have come down to stagger. And in that situation, this became a pivot foot the moment this foot came down. Or I could have gone into a shot off that second foot. Like that. So the pivot foot came off the floor, but as long as I release the ball before it comes back down, it's legal. And a pseudo jump stop can be small like the ones I just showed, or it can be a lot bigger. It shouldn't matter in terms of if it's legal or not, how big it is. Same questions apply. Is the ball coming to rest while the player's in the air? If so, it's a pseudo jump stop. A bigger one looks like this. let's say, I hooked it early before I took off. Now it's going to become a true jump stop. So I'm dribbling, ball comes to rest while that foot is on the floor, I haven't jumped yet. Now I'm going to rip like that, land on 2 feet. Just like a true jump stop on the wing, if I'm doing a true jump stop down the dribble, I have limited options. I've got to land with 2 feet at the same time, and I cannot pivot. Pretty much got to go up from there. You'll see some of those happen if a player is trying to get through a couple of defenders and hooks it in order to control the ball better, or it could happen on a spin. So if I was trying to spin full 360, you might see that the ball's going to come to rest as I hook it early on. Here. Really tough to make that illegal if you're going to see a player do an entire spin. It is possible to have it be a pseudo jump stop if the player is taking some kind of an angle. So if I'm going this way, I want it there. That time the ball came to rest in the air. It's a tough one to pull off and be legal. Just the key question as always is it coming to rest while that foot is still on the floor? If so, it's a true jump stop. The player's got to come down with both feet. So for some illegal possibilities, say I just did that move, I came down to stagger, that's a travel. Another possibility might be at the end of a run. You see this mostly at lower levels. The player will pick it up and then have a stutter. Clearly illegal. Shooting off a pass. Here the key question is the ball getting released before a pivot foot, if established, comes back to the floor? Some possibilities. A player catches, goes up. No one's calling that a travel. Next possibility. A player catches, takes one step, and goes up. Again, no one's calling that a travel. It's a great move because it allows a player to get up a shot really quickly. For that reason, you see it a lot in college or the pros. Again, it's a catch, step, and go. In order to get it off, well, it means you got to catch the ball already level. Next possibility is a player catches the ball in the air, lands with a stagger, and goes up. So catch, step, step, shot. It's legal since I caught it in the air. When that second foot landed, the first one became a pivot, but then I went up and shot. That's fine. But if you take this progression one step farther, starting here, then step, step, shoot. It's not legal since, catch, since when this foot hits the floor, this one becomes a pivot. Then I picked it up and put it back down, before shooting. And this can happen moving forward. I've seen players square up with some steps. So they might go step, step into a shot like that. In any case, it's a trap. What is legal is a true jump stop, and it can accomplish the same thing. It's just a little tougher athletically. So I can catch here, then come up and do that, landing with 2 feet, true jump stop. Or more likely, I would use it coming off a screen to create some space. So I might catch, jump back, and go up. I got 2 or 3 feet with that one quick true jump stop move. It's good stuff. In order to land in a stagger and go up off of a similar move, you're going to need a dribble.